Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. We are here to help you see the new you. My name is Lloyd Luna and this is The Big Picture. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, wherever you're watching from around the world, good evening. It's a rainy Monday evening, the 7th of September, 2020. How's your first working day of the work week? If you're watching now, we thank you and we'd like to encourage you to share our live stream link. You can also organize your own watch party or send the same link to your chat groups. You can also ask us questions, make your comments and suggestions down the comment stream below. And if ever you also want to watch us on YouTube, please go to youtube.com/TNC now and watch us there. Who knows, you can be one of the lucky recipients of our gift for tonight. Manood lang po kayo sa YouTube at mag-comment doon. Pagkatapos kapag kayo po ay mapili, swerteng mapipili, we are going to hand over something that is useful sa mga panahon pong ito. In the meantime, I'd like to greet very early my mother and my father are watching from Australia. Hello there, down under. This is what you can get if you're going to watch us on YouTube and make at least one comment. Please do watch. Oh, wow. What's that? Washable face mask, courtesy of Unisol and TNC. It's worth 600 pesos. And if you're living in Metro Manila at kayo po ay mapalad na napili na aming social media team, free delivery. You're again living within Metro Manila. So our lucky recipient will be announced before our show ends for tonight. Another inspirational show because we're going to talk about advertising and business and many other things in between. Because I heard that inspirational din ang journey ng ating guest for tonight. So if you cannot wait anymore, I cannot wait anymore. But even if I cannot, I will have to read some news headlines from the Manila Times. Let's watch the headlines. COVID curve flattening. Expert says positivity rate has dropped. Bongo pushes passage of fire protection bill. Government borrowings hit 134 billion pesos in July. LGU's recovery plans to help rebuild economy. White Beach for people's mental health, according to Palace. Like how? PNP backs monitoring of quarantine violations. One Pac-Man congressman catches COVID-19. Velasco's term to start in November. OVP gets highest audit rating for 2019. Government borrowings hit 134 billion pesos in July. Headlines presented to you by the Manila Times. For more news and information, please go to manilatimes.net or download their application at digitaledition.manilatimes.net. And if you're watching us live now, please do share our live stream link or organize your own watch party. Pwede rin po kayong mag-share ng link na ito sa inyong mga chat groups because again, our discussion for tonight will be another inspirational episode because we're going to talk about a leader in advertising. Alam niyo po usong-uso na ngayon yung pag-create ng mga content. Kung dati po ang content creation ay nandun lang sa mga malalaking media entity, ngayon po ang content creation kahit sino pwede na pong makagawa. And with the advent of this technology called YouTube live streaming technology, basically YouTube, Facebook, and the likes, we can practically be our own producers and directors, content creators practically. And so in fact, we can also make some good income, handsome money, if we just know how to monetize our creations. So tonight we are very lucky because one person has given us time. Napaka-busy po ng ating guest pero nagbigay siya ng isang oras para sa atin ngayong gabing ito because I don't know, kaibigan yata ng producer. Kaibigan po yata ng producer. So hindi po nakatanggi. Pinilipit ang anong tawag dito. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's learn from Jim Guzman. Jim Guzman is the head of social media ng Dentsu Aegis Network Philippines. Hello, Jim. Come in, please.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening, Lloyd.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming to the big picture. Appreciate it. Really. Sobrang masaya kami na nandito ka ngayon at marami kaming itatanong sa inyo. Baka may mga chismis kaming nami-miss. This is So let's talk about that. But again, thank you so much. First, I would like to ask how you are because this thing that we are into right now, hindi pa siya talaga, hindi pa natin nakikita yung dulo neto. No? So, how are you?
Well, so far, so good naman, no? Pag maraming tao tinatanong mo how they are, they're saying they're surviving. Ako, I'd like to believe that I'm thriving, trying to to live by the day, try to, have the simple joys that I can, no? Kasi I think pare-pareho tayo ngayon. We're not yet certain. We know more or less that this pandemic will end. I think the question is we don't know when. Kaya,
Exactly.
trying to live day by day and making most out of this extraordinary experience that all of us are having right now.
Yun yung stressful part, no? Yung alam mo na matatapos, but when, hindi mo alam kung kailan. Di ba? Pero dami nga muna, hindi mo rin alam. And so, hindi mo rin alam kung ano yung mga gagawin. Because I don't know, I was a fan of long-term planning. I don't know, maybe you also are, right? Yung magpaplano ka lang, 3 years, 5 years, and then 8, 10 years maybe. But now, can we still do that? I mean, considering that everything is moving parts, can we still do that? Or dun ka sa parang one small decision at a time?
Well, hindi. I think, ako for me, I try to do it at the same time. Kasi while as much as you don't want to think long term, right now kasi talagang again, uncertain of what the future holds. So the most that you can do is really to think of short term. GCQ ba next week? MECQ ba in 2 weeks? So talagang even the way the planning has been designed for the government response, short term eh. Pero like even in the office, in the company that I'm part of, we still try to think long term and hopefully very ambitious na pag natapos to, all systems go ulit, tuloy ulit ang laban.
Oo. Pero paano mo makikita in 10 years, considering na parang all across industries, parang na-flatten halos lahat. So, depende kasi sa response nila kung ano yung supposed to be magiging success mo long term. So, how do you spot that? Paano mo siya i-define yan? Paano mo siya i-reimagine, so to speak?
Well, I think the good thing about what's happening right now is magba-bounce back ng mabilis to as soon as a vaccine comes, no? Right now there are a lot of options available. Napadating, no? I think 5 different brands from 5 different pharmaceutical companies. So parang ngayon, even in the way we are trying to plan, talagang very positive naman. And definitely, I am 100% sure, even if you look at what happened to the world after the Spanish flu, everyone will bounce back. And for all we know, the world that we used to have will be way better. We have a world that has been healed already, so expect tourism to really, go way better than it used to. Lahat kakating dumiyahe, lahat. Ako, I think I just try to be positive.
Biyahe!
Lloyd, nakakamiss na sumakay ng aeroplano. Alam mo, sa Thailand, nakita ko lang kanina, merong airline. I'm not sure if it's Bangkok Airways o yung the other airline company that they have, but meron silang restaurant na binuksan na ang sinoserve plain food.
Ooh,
So gusto lang nilang i-cater yung mga tao na nami-miss mag-travel, na ang nag-a-assist sa'yo are flight attendants and they serve you good food.
Oo. I know you also travel a lot. I mean, nature mo sa profession mo. And I also do. So, minsan gagawin mo parang bahay na yung aeroplano, di ba? Lipat-lipat ka na lang. So, talagang dun ka magdadive experience.
Buti nga nung November, December, nung birthday ko, I was able to travel. I tried to do an alone trip kasi, or at least with one friend or with 2 friends that I meet along the way. So I was able to travel. Di ko alam na ano din yun, 3 weeks yun. So in 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks, yung pala paghahanda na yun for 2020.
Where was this? I mean, saan?
Hindi, I went to, it's my first time to go to Switzerland. So I went to, I started my trip in Geneva and then went to the Toblerone Mountain, yung Zermatt.
Yeah.
It was one of the highest.
The Toblerone Mountain with the negative na bear, yung negative space.
Yes.
right?
That's true. Oh, so parang more than half of the trip, I was in Switzerland, went to Lucerne, went around the country, and then Spain, Barcelona, and Madrid. So
Yun na
init
hindi
at
na
lamig.
yun na hindi namin napuntahan when we did the European tour last year. Yan yung hindi na namin talaga kinayang puntahan yung part na yan. So dito kami sa Venice, dito kami sa side ng Paris.
Oo.
Oo, yung part
So
na yun.
masarap mag soul searching tsaka mag-imagine and mag-relax. When
Nakita
you
lang
are
namin yung tuktok ng bundok, yung Alps. So,
Oo,
yun lang
oo.
yung namin.
Ganun
Good.
din naman ang itsura kahit malapit. Pero nandun ako, tinanaw ko na lang mula sa kabilang bundok.
Gumastos ka pa, no? Malapit yun din lang.
Oo, tapos ang pasalubong ko, Toblerone. Nabibili lang naman sa supermarket.
Para kayo kaibigan ko, yung mga jersey ng NBA, so galing siya ng US, sabi niya, bakit ako bibili ng jersey sa US? So dahil siya ng Green Hills and then nagpasalubong siya. Siyempre, pag galing kang US, saan galing yung jersey, di ba? So,
Ako, tayong dalawa lang naman nandito, so binili ko lang din yata sa supermarket yung pasalubong ko.
tayo lang dalawa ngayon, but this is recorded as live, so.
Ako recorded pa lang.
Good. I'm curious, we leaders are trained to respond to situations, crisis, no? At sa lifetime natin kasi, hindi siya nangyari in our lifetime, pero before our lifetime, nangyari na yung Spanish flu hundreds of years ago. They responded din, no? Pero kumbaga ako nga, hindi ko inis na in our lifetime, we are going to have this kind of crisis. Now, as a leader who is not familiar with the situation like this, lockdown, work from home, and then naka-shutdown ng economy mo, paralyzed halos lahat. What was the first thing that came into your mind when you are approaching the first few weeks of this crisis?
Actually, alam mo, Lloyd, pag binabalikan ko nga yung nangyari nung March, kinikalabutan ako sa bilis ng mga pangyayari. Kasi I remember the weekend before the lockdown, parang Friday, ni-lockdown, na tayo, wala nang pasok. Tapos Monday yung start ng ECQ talaga. Parang gumimik pa yata ako in poblasyon with a few friends. And we went around, not knowing na posible yung virus was going around already. No? Yung weekend before the lockdown itself, I even got fever and flu-like symptoms. So parang inisip ko nga ngayon, baka naman ako na yung virus na survive ko lang.
Naka-recover ka na?
Oo, naka-recover na. Pero I think, at least sa Dentsu, at medyo matalim din yung leadership namin, tsaka even our country CEO, talagang nung medyo Wednesday, Tuesday na nababalitaan na namin na medyo, seryoso na to at saka medyo it's getting closer to home, yung medyo kilala mo na yung either ka-advertising agency mo o mga kaibigan sa ibang ahensya o opisina, medyo seryoso na to. So talagang, ang nakakatawa pa nga, at Wednesday, nag-meeting kami, sabi namin, Thursday, mag-trial tayo. Pag natin papasukin lahat, tingnan natin kung ano magagawa ng team natin today to prepare for an emergency na hindi na kayo papasok the next day. Tapos, Thursday, walang pasok. Friday, evaluate natin. Nung Friday, hindi na rin kami nagpapasok kasi talagang takot na mga tao at saka medyo nagkaka-panic buying na at magulo na. So, kahit paano nakapag-prepare kami and we had a lot of meetings virtually after that, even via Viber, via Messenger, trying to really get a feel of what's going on and make big decisions that, beyond imagination. Like, who would have thought that we will all be like, it's been 6 months, di ba? But ito, napagdaanan natin, nangyari sa atin. So, I think to your question, iba yung basta meron kang mindset of laging ready for whatever kind of challenges. In this case, it's the pandemic. Gano'n yung bilis ng paano mo gagawan agad ng aksyon.
Oo, kung hindi ka mabilis, talagang may iwan, ano?
Oo
And then yung mga tao mo
lalo na nung March, di ba? Parang ang bilis. Parang,
and your people are waiting basically kung anong kumpas yung gagawin.
Saka Lloyd, iba yung I'm not sure if you've experienced this. Iba kasi yung pag may mga ganyang sickness, naririnig mo, nangyari sa probinsya, o nangyayari sa Maynila, pero wala ka namang kakilalang may ganon. So parang narinig mo lang sa balita, life goes on, di ba? Pero ito yung may naririnig ka ng kamag-anak, kakilala, tapos nagkakaroon na ng fear, di ba? I
Yeah.
think yun yung ultimate challenge of at least during the start of the pandemic, no? Na ngayon, habang nag-uusap tayo, monumental kasi sabi ngayon parang one of the lowest ever, 1,300 cases in a day. Metro Manila, 500. Kasi we
Ngayon
needed
pala.
that at this point
Yeah.
eh. Ngayon pala.
Pero ngayon pa lang yan, di ba? I mean, ibig sabihin, para, 6 months? Para kalahati ng
Correct.
taon.
Wala na, naubos na.
Naubos na. Sige, pero curious ako, meron ka bang activity na ginawa personally sa bahay during the first few weeks? Kasi ako, aminado naman ako na Netflix ako eh. Bum ako nung first few weeks eh. So, K-drama ako eh. What about you?
Well, isa ako sa mga nanood ng Crash Landing on You for the first 2 weeks of March. Siyempre, tinatansya mo pa eh. Ako, feeling ko March, April, hindi pa ako masyado nag-iisip ng kumbaga, meron ba akong dapat pagkaabalahan na bago, etc. Kasi naka-on a day-to-day basis pa ako noon eh. So, mga kill time ko lang would be watching Netflix. I chose to, so the last night before ECQ, I packed, kasi nakahiwalay ako na condo sa pamilya ko. So, I packed all my stuff. Tapos, I drove to my parents' house. So, doon ako, dito muna, actually, nandito ako ngayon, dito muna ako naglagi. Siyempre to be with the family, iba din yung magkakasama eh. So talagang yun eh. Until, pero alam mo sa totoo lang, marami din akong classes na tinry. So mayabang na ako ngayon, meron ako mga certificate of completion sa Stanford. Stanford. Pero mga libre na yun. So kinukuha ko lang yung mga libre. So libre to. Biglang merong class sa Coursera about artificial intelligence. Kinuha ko na rin. So I think that I kept myself busy trying to get as much free classes as I can.
And you couldn't have done it dun sa normal working days na nakatuto.
Oo, definitely hindi. Pero sabi ko nga, yung trabaho din ngayon, sobrang, I think mas nag-wild kasi dati, average mo 5 to 6 meetings kasi may travel time, may lunch. Ito, nagdo-12, nagka-14 kasi one click away lang ang paglipat ng meeting room eh.
Exactly.
So,
Relate pa tayo.
Oo, grabe. Ibang ano. But yun, hindi naman ako naging into planting. Hindi naman ako, but I try to exercise as much as I can and I try to start reading books. Pero yun eh, siguro mga 4th month na medyo in denial pa rin ako nung first 4 months na nangyayari to eh. So work and play lang yung laro ko.
Ang in denial period ko is from March 15 to April 24. Kasi noong April 25, I started ito ng show na The Big Picture. And then May 15, the 6th day, May 1, Apple became my guest. And then we had a partnership. By May 15, we decided to put a PNC na as a company. And by next month, by the following month, June 17, I guess, we got the SEC papers na. So up and running na nag-start na yung business formally. But that's interesting because magkakaiba talaga tayo nung stage ng pagtanggap dun sa situation. But okay, let's do some step back and let me ask you about your background. How did you become the person that you are now?
Well, in 2007, I graduated from UANP. I took up integrated marketing communications. Alam ko lang back then that kasi pag gumraduate ka ng marketing o advertising, well, mostly marketing, either move to the client side or to the agency side. So back then, parang ang pinaka-in agency side eh. So pag nasa ahensya ka, iba yung glitz and iba yung adrenaline eh, yung feeling. And then when I graduated, very clear sa utak ko na I have to be with one of the biggest advertising agencies in the country. And then I was very happy that I ended up joining McCann World Group, and I didn't know that my next 10 years will be with McCann. So actually, a lot of my contemporaries and people I know in the industry have jumped from one agency to the other. Some even naikutan na lahat or tayo na ng sariling ahensya. Ako, one decade, 10 years akong naging loyal sa Macan. And talagang ano naman, to be fair, I was very, very fortunate to
But
really
what's with
Come on.
Macan? What's with Macan? Something you saw that maybe some don't see kasi nga palipat-lipat sila. So is it the culture? Is it
back
the
then kasi pag sinabi mo ad agency, Macan eh. At least from a student's point of view. And I had professors back then in UANP who were from Macan. And before, I'm a big fan of their work for various brands. No? So talagang alam ko deep inside, ano man ang role na mapasukan ko, I really wanted to join Macan. And
so parang ito yung sense of belonging that you belong to an institution.
correct, hindi naman. But yeah, I mean, talagang from an account executive to handling my own business until I was given the chance, the opportunity to move to the Singapore office of Macan in Singapore. So when I moved there, kasi nung panahon ko very social media talaga yung game changer sa digital eh. Bago pa yung Facebook.
Baka naman pwedeng pasama kami yung panahon natin.
Yung panahon natin. Akala ko kasi TikTok Lloyd. So nung panahon natin Facebook.
Yeah.
Minove ako sa Singapore and then I handled General Motors. So kotse ang naging brand ko for 2 years. So 5 years ako sa Singapore eh. Yung first 2 years GM. So ina-handle ko yung social media, digital for Asia Pacific, Middle East, India and South Africa. So, yun ang naging teritoryo. Kaya for 2.5 years in Singapore, parang mas umiikot ako kasi talagang mas babad kami sa iba-ibang countries na kailangan yung tulong ng regional office.
Mm-hmm. How has social media changed when you started in 2007? At least dun sa lens mo. Kasi madami ito I don't know. Malamang, inabutan mo pa naman yung Friendster, di ba?
Oo.
Di ba?
Pinokolekta ng testimonial.
Exactly. And then multiply. Bagsak din.
Oo.
So, ano yung nag-change landscape when you were doing social media then and now?
Actually, marami kasi right now, if you notice, social media has become a primary customer service platform. Diba? Minsan nga, mas mabilis pa doon sumagot yung mga brands that we need to talk to, whether fast food, tech, telco, or versus the actual phone. That's one.
So that back then, hindi yan, hindi yun yung parang focus na social
parang
media.
Facebook at saka ang nice to have lang eh. Para lang masabing digital ka. So nasa Facebook ka. So
At
even yung mga content na ginagawa doon.
At may testimonial ka sa Friendster.
Diba? Pero parang yung mga brands noon, parang parang pa-cute lang. Kunyari, basta may post ka dati may mga post ka na mga cute na pusa or na aso, and it gets the likes, the shares, the comments, diba? Pero as years go by, parang nagiging the demand for content is getting more and more parang complicated. Parang ngayon, ang basic na would be a video. Diba? So even from a content perspective, lumawak na. Siyempre, the rise of creators.
Pero back then, yung content is something na hindi pa, kumbaga parang wala pa sa isip ng lahat na you can make business out of this. This can be used as
literally, yung mga social media managers tumukuha ng picture sa Google. Tapos nilalagyan ng caption, Happy Monday from whatever, di ba? Ano yun? It gets 1,000 likes organically. Di uso yung boosted nun. Walang boost nun. Basta pinakamaraming fans, may pinakamaraming makakakita ng content mo. Pero ngayon, hindi pwedeng hindi original. Hindi pwedeng, minsan nga static is not considered good content na. Kailangan medyo video, semi-dynamic, yung mga kape na may umuusok. Diba? O yung mga maliit na gano'n. I think thirdly would be the expectation dati, engagement lang. Basta you get the likes, the comments, the share. Ngayon, even purchase and transaction are primary KPIs when it comes to social, diba? So, at least yung 3 milestones na makikita mo talaga how it has evolved through the years. Through the decade.
Oh, decades, no? Decades. Ayaw man nating aminin. Decades. Decades.
Oh,
Okay. I'm going to pause for a short commercial. Then when we come back, still we're going to talk about you and your businesses. The big picture on TNC will return. Please stay on our stream.
Since I got my new place, I've enjoyed every single day here. Hotel-like amenities, attentive staff, resort-style living, all in a premium location. So life here is easy and convenient. That's why I invested in another unit. I can earn more, and they can enjoy the very same things I enjoy at home. What a life! So much more rewarding. So much more to life. SMDC.
We need beauty every day. We need power every day. But are you ready?
Ready? Ready.
Beauty is power.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Before I calling back my guest again for tonight, I would like to invite you. I would like to invite you. I would like you to invite you. I would like to invite you to watch our other TNC show, inspirational shows. Para hindi lang isa yung napapanood ninyo. So, ano-ano ba yung mga shows na meron tayo sa TNC na ginawa namin para sa inyo? Here we go. Asa na ating TNC shows. There you go. Please do watch HR Hotline Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. The Family Business Saturdays at 4 p.m. The For Project is going to an off-season. Usapang Beauty Thursdays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. U-Turn Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. The Puppet Stories Mondays at 5:30 p.m. TNC Marketplace, Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. YOLA, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. TNC The Talk, Mondays at 12 p.m. After Shift, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Win Within, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Dating Art Show, Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Foreign Affairs with Lee O'Brien, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Marami pa po kami mga ilo-launch na show. Actually, next week, Money and More at saka yung COVID Stories ay ilo-launch namin along with Foreign Affairs with Lee O'Brien. Oo. Tapos yung mga nagko-comment sa nakakatuwa kasi sinasabi dito, for example, ni Jennifer, so White Beach daw for mental health. I suppose the government will have to share the study to support this claim. Baka naman, government, baka naman may study tayo dito. Yung White Beach is panggamot sa mental health challenges. So good evening, Jennifer. Thank you so much for always watching our shows on TNC. Si Fresilia Buwan is saying, good evening, Miss Fresilia. Oo. Ang sabi naman niya is, totoo, ang dami talagang pagbabago at pangyayari dahil sa COVID-19. And then Jen Rosario, we missed you, Jen. She's watching from Pampanga. Good evening, Sir Lloyd. Na-miss ko show ninyo. Alright, very good. Maraming salamat pa sa mga nanonood. Rochelle, Jane Baluyot is also watching along with Leah Guerrero. Nag-meet kami sa in-life event. Magaling na host yan si Leah. Si Dale Joy Ribuan is also watching. Hopefully, nandiyan pa sila at nanonood at nakatutok. And hopefully, you're also sharing our live stream link. Oo. Baka naman, pwede natin i-share ito para mas maraming ma-inspire because we're still going to talk about advertising and, businesses, mga insights kung paano isang leader ng isang international advertising agency ay nandito para magbigay ng kanyang opinion tungkol sa mga nangyayaring challenges sa atin ngayon. So, let's bring in back our guest for tonight. Jim Guzman is Head of Social Media of Dentsu Aegis Network, Philippines. Come in back, Jim. Thanks so much again. Welcome back. Sana hindi ka nakatulog sa aming announcement. Napakarami kasing shows.
Oo nga eh.
And hopefully, kung may time ka pa, sumali ka na. May mga slots pa naman kami kahit once a week lang.
Natatakot nga ako maimbitahan ng producer. Baka hindi ako makano eh.
Ayun na yan. Labas na ako dyan. So, let's talk about your time naman doon sa career mo, because I always ask this to my guests, was there ever a point in your life na parang napagod ka and you said, especially dito sa advertising industry, ito yung nakakapagod based doon sa understanding ko sa industry, ito yung nakakapagod, ito yung nakakapiga, ito yung parang yung last na ang tawag ko, yung last na fluid mo is pipigain, creativity is sometimes nagkakaroon ka ng mental block and things like that. So, was there ever a point na parang napagod ka and how did you cope with it?
Marami yan. Ano yan? Hindi yan was there ever a point, Lloyd. Every day is a point.
Wow!
Napapagod ka. At tatanungin mo ang sarili mo, okay pa ba itong ginagawa ko? Anyway, no, kidding aside, lagi yan. Tsaka syempre, sa sobrang bilis ng dynamics ng advertising. Talagang, lalo na sa mga pagkakataon na, nakakaproblema or you need to fix certain problems of your clients, etc. O pag may mga pitches, talagang palagi kang mapapatanong ng tama ba itong ginagawa ko or masaya pa ba ako, etc. Pero over the years, I think, I don't know, others may be doing something else, pero ako talaga, I always give time for myself. So at least pag weekends, try to make it a point that if it's not family time, it's time for myself. No? And ako, I always tell my team and even my friends na always take time to meditate and have my prayer time is always my time to meditate. So it relaxes kasi your and kumbaga parang sa computer, hindi pwedeng sinara mo lang laptop mo na naka-sleep lang siya eh. Importante nire-restart mo eh. Para pagising mo, fresh ulit, di ba? Maglo-load ulit ng tama yung utak mo. And I guess over the years, that's how I managed to cope up. Siguro malaking bagay din, Lloyd, na I grew up in the industry having mentors talaga that even until now I look up to and mentors who guide me every step of the way. So, I don't know if Donald is watching right now. Donald Lim is one of my mentors. When I started, talagang tutok na yan until now. So, I think yun lang.
How are you? Kumusta din? Nakikikumusta, no? Oo. But these are the things na sinasabi natin if you are in an advertising space, kailangan pala talaga dito yung yung tamang management ng energy mo, not just time but the energy. Okay, so let's talk about yung creativity naman. How do you keep yourself fresh? Kasi nagkakaroon minsan ng block parang especially sa sinasabi mo na very dynamic itong industry na ito, I mean, every who knows how many months or weeks meron kang bagong campaign and things like that. So how do you keep yourself on shape?
Yeah, ako talaga, I think key yung traveling. For me, traveling is not just a time to relax, but also to disconnect to reconnect, di ba? Kasi that's where you get a lot of inspiration, that's where you get a lot of insights, especially when you get to places that you haven't been before. So it's an opportunity to really regain yourself and regain your creativity. And of course, syempre mga little things, di ka naman everyone makaka-travel, di ba? But the little things, like ako talagang I would, especially that I'm very active in the creator and influencer space, no? So I make it a point that, I watch different vlogs, trying to understand like how different creators do different content. I read a lot, no? Like mostly online about case studies and so that I guess that's how I sustain my and minsan din kasi whenever you meet or you talk to fellow creative people, and shout out to all our creative people in the network, in the agency. Iba eh. It keeps you creative as well. It keeps your mind parang equally motivated and creative to think of new things.
Is there something, or was there a particular travel na nung nag-travel ka, mayroong isang idea na ipinanganak, and pagbalik mo sa Philippines or Singapore, kung nasan ka ng time na yun, is na-implement mo because of that travel, and what was that inspiration kung meron?
That's a good question. Hindi ako handa dun Ano nga ba yun? I guess wala akong maalala specifically na uy, kopyahin ko yon, gawin ko sa Pilipinas. But parang I'm always amazed how countries in the US or in Europe, for example, try to digitize the way they work or they do. Kasi ako, I lived in Singapore for 5 years. And I've seen also how a first world country thinks in terms of innovations. And I will always bring that. Parang wala lang ako specifically ma-pinpoint ngayon that I was able to really successfully drive na ginaya or Pero parang that's where I always get ideas na parang
Siguro parang pang-clear lang ng mind, no? Parang
oo
pang-detach lang dun sa nagawa mo na. Kasi sometimes yung challenge, parang nakadikit ka pa din dun sa successful previous campaign, di ba? Parang hindi ka let go minsan. So maybe yun ang sinasabi na when you travel, parang nare-reset din yung system mo, especially
parang kunyari yung mga I'm a big fan of trains abroad, like how different trains or railway transport system in different countries operate, kasi iba-iba yan iba ang MTR sa Hong Kong, iba ang MRT sa Singapore, iba ang New York subway. I'm always amazed on how technology keeps up with I will remember this train station in Korea na while you're waiting for your train, nandun lahat ng pwede mong mabili sa grocery. Tapos QR code, scan mo lang ng QR code, lahat ng gusto mong mabili. Tapos check out, and then pagdating mo the next day, or I can't remember kung hindi naman siguro pagdating mo ng bahay, nandun na yun. Pero the following day, makukuha mo na lahat ng skinan mo at binili mo. I'm always amazed by those types of ideas. And whenever we get briefs from client, yung tinatry namin, sana pwedeng subukan, sana pwedeng gawin, sana pwedeng mabenta. Pero parang wala ako talaga ako specifically.
Jim, basta kami sa Philippines kasi tayo ang kauna-unahang rail system sa Asia, at ngayon walang nakalagay.
Akala ko at ngayon tayo ang kahuli-hulihan.
Yes, exactly. Kung sila doon, marami ma-amaze ka dito na, you're the first, and what?
pero alam mo, Lloyd, one of the reasons also why I decided, well, apart from many things, that it was an easy decision for me to come back. Given na so digital and social media yung expertise ko, o yung career path na talaga I'm trying to build for myself. Parang on the social side, we're the most social beings on the planet. No one can get that from the Filipinos. So I guess
Jim, ito yung traditionally as human beings, very social na tayo as a country, Filipino people, social na. Tapos parang nalagay, lalo na nung naging nalagay na tayo sa digital space. Yun ba yung sinasabi mo?
Okay. Oo, parang na-automate lang yung pagiging sociable natin eh. Parang digital just became a platform for us to socialize 24/7. Kasi dati, ang mode of socialization natin, reunions, parties, simbahan, di ba, etc. Pero ngayon, you can just FB Messenger anyone. You can just send a WhatsApp message to a friend or Viber a friend. So talagang I mean, Philippines talaga is still a good place to really innovate and think of new things for social and even digital. Parang there's a lot of things that can still be digitized in the country. So
Kung ang
and
kung ang market ay Philippines at alam mo na ang mga tayo sociable, is it more challenging that it is than it is not in terms of creating a certain campaign?
feeling ko mas madali. So it's less challenging in the sense na you know how your fellow men think and behave. So alam mo how what motivates people, alam mo what makes people happy. So parang you're a one step ahead. Than say for example living in another country na totally clueless ka on the culture, diba? So I would like to think that it's challenging as well, but it is less challenging versus marketing in a different country.
Mhm. And then let's talk about demographics and basically geography. Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Looking from your lens as an advertising guy, one of the best, I guess.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Edit. No, stays. Pagdating ba doon, parang natanggal natin yung wall that divides us geographically.
Well, hindi lang islands, but even waters like overseas. Like remember before when you used to have a balikbayan relative. Literal nakikita at nakakausap mo lang sila every 2 years. Kung maswerte silang nakakauwi every 2 years. Kasi ang mahal ng overseas call, di ba? Pero
Right.
ngayon, because of digital, I can FaceTime anybody in the US anytime I want to, di ba? So similarly, I think yung inter-province in the country, parang digital has definitely fast-track progress and development. Parang the Philippines became one whole city, 'di ba? In terms of how we can easily connect. Like for example, right now, ang daming shows din online na nanggagaling sa Mindanao, nanggagaling sa Visayas, and they guest people in Metro Manila or in Luzon and vice versa. Diba? So amazing how even this pandemic has brought out, parang we are 10 times more digital than we used to be. Diba?
Sige.
Parang,
In terms based or coming from your advertising hat yung content ba dapat yung audience na lang ang mag-adjust, or kung ikaw yung content creator, you will have to still target specific market and cater to it outside in or inside out?
I think you always have to strike the balance. Kasi hindi pwedeng puro ikaw lang ang masusunod. Kasi hindi naman ikaw ang nanonood sa sarili mo. So
Yeah.
dapat, listening is very important. Diba?
Parang guilty ako dun.
So that's why, kaya maganda yung pag may mga chat room, diba? Pag may mga people to leave comments. Kasi, people will help you become better in the conversations that you have. So ako, to your question, you always have to strike the balance kasi you cannot just take in isolation. You cannot just take in isolation what people are telling you. Kasi for all you know, that will make you better, di ba?
Kaya ako natanong kasi, di ba, may mga content creator na parang, this is who I am. Diba? And then they do whatever they feel like doing. I'm not sure. I mean, hindi ko alam kung they read the comments on how they're going to improve. Kasi hindi ko naman alam kung okay sa kanila yung feedback mechanism. Kasi baka mamaya hindi siya part of structure. Kasi maraming influencers na they became influencers because of who they are and what they do and what they say and what they present to the public. So kumbaga parang kayo public, bahala na kayo ang mag-adjust sa akin sa creator. Hindi yung kaya for example ng structured na parang, okay, may feedback mechanism ka, so meron kang traffic na information that will really become your mirror para sa improvement mo. So, yun lang yung reason ko.
Ako, when you say striking the balance, ano rin yun parang, again, dapat talaga, ang core mo rin naman would be who are you and how you set yourself apart from others. So, yun, equally important yun. Kasi, kapag nawala ka naman doon at sunod ka na lang na sunod kung ano sinasabi sa ng tao, you will lose your identity eventually. So, talagang, finding the balance is key.
Which is yung pinaka-delicate, no? Paano mo sasabihin na valid, for example, ang isang comment or feedback or hindi siya valid. Di ba may mga ganun case.
Yun ang mga intricacies na of the process.
Sure. Okay, one more commercial, Jim, and then when we come back, are you in for a short game?
Of course, please.
Okay. The Big Picture on TNC will return. Stay on our stream. Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Let's call in Jim Guzman, our guest for tonight, the head of social media of Dentsu Aegis Network Philippines. Okay, Jim! Nakapag-warm up ka na ba?
Medyo nagkulat na.
Okay. May konting calculus lang to, algebra sa trigonometry.
Ako patay tayo dyan. Kaya ako nag-advertising mode kasi ayoko ng math. Gusto ko binabilang ko ng revenue at profit.
Okay, sige. So, scratch na natin yung calculus. Okay. The game is called Big or Small because the only thing that you do is choose whether you prefer an item to be big or small.
Okay.
Coffee.
Small.
Parang hindi ka
tanggap. Explain ba?
Walang explanation. Walang explanation. Parang ironic sa sa isang tao.
Pwede mo ko tanungin kung gusto mo pero di ko okay lang.
Sige, okay, sige. I will try not to. So, nagulat lang ako. Hindi siya expected kasi. Parang iniisip ko pang extra large yung pipiliin mo. Anyway, next item is milk tea.
Small.
Mhm. Car,
Big.
family,
Small.
credit limit.
Big.
Alam na.
Oh, big.
Big. With conviction na. Planet in the solar system.
Small.
Bed, higaan.
Big.
Wristwatch.
Big.
Answer the question. Kung totoo ang langit, except from your family members, saka ako, sino gusto mong isama sa langit kung aakyat ka na ngayon?
Maganda yung pag-uusap natin, Lloyd. Baka ikaw na lang para lagi ako may kausap sa langit.
Bawal nga ako, saka family members, napakadaming guest na yung nagsama sa akin.
Sino nga ba? Siguro nga pala, sorry, sinabi mo nga pala hindi ka kasama. So, hindi ko nag-isip. Sino ba? Siguro, isa sa mga kabarkada ko kasi yung siguradong umiinom ng Jaeger kasi nahilig namin iniinom. Pero may ka-shot ako sa langit.
Okay, sige. Next time, pangalanan natin kung sino man nakabarkada para sure tayo. Kasi isa lang yung pwede mong isama.
Oh, sige.
Okay. Kung ikaw ay barbero, sinong artista ang gusto mong gupitan ngayong panahon ng quarantine?
Si Liza Soberano.
Okay.
Pag barbero naman, pwede babae, di ba?
Pwede naman. Basta may buhok. Yun lang naman yung rule. Huwag mong
So,
gupitan yung wala ng buhok.
Liza Soberano.
Oo. If you were a gym instructor, sino namang political leader ang gusto mong i-train sa gym?
Si President Duterte. Dami kong tanong eh.
Okay. If you were an astronaut, sino gusto mong isama sa outer space?
Same yung kanina, bawal ka pamilya, bawal ikaw, or kahit sino.
Pwede na kapamilya dito.
Pwede na. Sama ko na lang tatay ko. Para
Sige.
may malibang naman.
Isa lang ang pwedeng bumalik, sino babalik?
Ako na lang, mas masaya siya dun eh. Mas masaya siya dun kesa dito sa planet Earth.
Okay, sige. Interesting yung mga sagot ng guest. Talagang paiba-iba siya. Yung mga matagal mag-isip na parang, alam mo parang hindi pwedeng ako ang maiwan.
Natakot.
Last question. If you have all the money in the world, which company are you going to buy?
Good question. I think I'll buy either AstraZeneca or Sanofi who are leading the vaccine battle right now. And you know why?
Okay. That's the spirit, no? Yung relevance.
Diba?
Relevance time ngayon, diba?
Para I can distribute vaccine for free without political prioritizations.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Thank you so much, Jim, for playing the game. I think pasado ka naman, although hindi perfect kasi may mga hindi ka sinagot na maayos. Oo. But, okay, a few more questions before we let you go. Let's talk about the business. You have a restaurant running, moving. How did you venture into this? Kasi ibang hat ito nung ikaw ay isang executive. Doon sa ikaw naman talaga nagpapatakbo and you are an entrepreneur. So how did you, very quickly, ano yung story ng restaurant and why and how you ventured into this?
Yeah. First and foremost, parang I'm just one of the partners of the restaurant, no. So I would give credit to Charles Pao and the team who are more hands-on in running the business. So I remember back then when they opened Hanamaruken, which is a franchise, a ramen restaurant in Osaka. When you go to Osaka, you cannot not see Hanamaruken there. Talagang we're becoming kasi a ramen culture eh. More than Korean, more than our love for Korean food. So it was an easy for me to be when I was invited to become a partner, to really venture into this type of kasi for the longest time I have been working for a company. So parang sige nga, try natin, laro tayo konti. to invest in a business. Di mo natatanong, Lloyd, on the side din kasi what I do apart from what I teach. So I'm also a college professor in the University of Asia and the Pacific. So that's part of my passion also to teach. Lalo na digital. Ako, I believe I can learn more by teaching than actually by enrolling in a grad school.
Oo nga, oh. Kung matututo ka daw, dapat magturo ka.
Correct, yes. So yun, it's been 3 years since I came back. That's one of the things that I do also, teaching, and then I invested here in Hanamaruki.
But you're seeing yourself naman dito sa space na ito na comfortable naman. I mean, entrepreneurship business. Kasi challenge ngayon eh. I mean, when did you start the Hanamaruken, by the way?
This started 2018. Toward late 2018.
Bagong-bago eh. And then meron kang ganitong klase ng ano, na parang, wait, stop muna. Operations, halt, parang gano'n.
Yan. So perfect na ini-interview mo ako ngayon, kakaulan lang. Ako, sarap mag-ramen. Nasa paligid kayo. Alam ko, Grab ngayon. Kahit saan sulok ng Metro Manila, pwede mag-deliver.
Sige, so they can call 287142977. Oo. Dadating sa inyo yung ramen. Kami na ba magluluto pag dumating sa amin?
Merong kit, tsaka merong ready na. So whichever you prefer, if you wanna put it together by yourself or i-heat mo lang when you get home.
Oo. Kasi iniisip natin yung noodles, so baka kapag paano yun? Paano napipreserve yun kung parang gawa na ita-travel pa?
Ano naman, parang may mga instructions siya on how to heat it. So you heat, you put it in a bowl, you combine it first, and then you heat it in the oven. So actually I've tried a number of times having ramen delivered in my house, in my parents' house. Okay naman. Siyempre iba yung nasa restaurant ka.
Iba no? Iba yung parang pag nasa bahay ka, parang, I mean, of course, kung gusto mo talaga, nagki-crave ka talaga, pwede mong gawin. Siguro manood ka na lang ng Chloe, no?
Tsaka yung lalo na pag ramen restaurant, iba yung izakaya vibe di ba?
Oh, so, yeah, exactly.
Good. But, I mean, eventually we will go back.
Everybody are using chopsticks and, yung mga okay. Anyway, sige. So, final question. Consider all things that are happening now. Some people are still confused. Many are still afraid. Yung iba hindi pa. Yung iba naka-pivot na, di ba? Naka-ready na, etc. So, what do you think is the big picture dito sa lahat ng nangyayari ngayon?
Well, one thing's for sure, there's an end to this pandemic. And I think what this will really test all of us is our resiliency, our faith, that we can get through this. And of course, how we can really try to live normal in an abnormal situation, right? I think that's very critical right now. Kasi sabi nga nila, this is the war of our generation. Hopefully, this is the last time in our lifetime. But this will. Then just look at how this pandemic has changed our day-to-day. Ang daming mga talagang ni lahat sineschedule ang pagpunta sa simbahan, but ngayon, you don't have a choice but to, you're just at home, so you might as well, do certain things. So I think let's make most out of this moment. I know it's tough. I know it builds a lot of anxiety. I know the feeling of uncertainty can drive all of us crazy. But if we keep ourselves focused and talagang let's keep ourselves busy while taking care of ourselves, while being with our family, then before you know it, tapos na to, and we'll all back to our normal lives. I try to avoid using the word or the words new normal, Lloyd, because this should be, kumbaga parang, pero kung ano man ang kahihinatnan ng ano naman ang magiging normal in the coming months, definitely, it should be fun, it should be, sabi nga, meron kaibigan nalulungkot siya, madami ng mga bars and restaurants na nagsara na. Sabi ko, parang isipin mo to, pag nag-normalize na to lahat, lahat ng mga luma natin pinupuntahan, bago na lahat yan. Mauubusan ka ng pupuntahan. Di ba? Yung mga dati nating, baka mali mo, poblasyon 2.0, mas maganda sa poblasyon 1.0. Di ba? Ang
Right.
BGC before, mas maganda sa BGC ngayon. Mas maganda yung ngayon. So, I think that positive outlook in believing that we'll get through this. Tayo pa, Pinoy. Tumatawa nga lang tayo kahit may bagyong dumaan. Pandemic lang to, Pilipino tayo.
Amen. O kasi na-flatten yung industry eh. So when you rebuild it.
Lumalabas na. Habang nag-interview yata tayo ngayon, nagsasalita si Pangulo. At binibida na niya ang pag-flatten ng curve. Diba?
Kala ko pag-flatten nung white sand sa
nakita ko yun ng weekend, Lloyd. Nadaan ako. Hindi ko lang natapakan kasi nakaharang pa sa Ross Boulevard. Baka bumaba na ang benta ng El Nido at saka ng ngayon.
It was a surprise, no? I mean, isa sa mga hindi ko na-expect personally. Anyway.
Ang wind, hindi ka daw makakaswim. Yun ang downside.
Yeah, kasi
hindi ka daw makakalangoy eh.
Hindi kasi siya yung sand na totoong sand. So, synthetic sand siya. So, meron siyang effects sa environment saka sa health. Even DOH said it. Anyway, Jim, thank you so much for your time. Social media to promote para mas dumami pa yung fans mo.
Well, I'm on so you can follow me on Instagram, Jim V Guzman. So I'm also on Twitter, Jim Guzman. I'm also on LinkedIn. Yon, mas active ako sa LinkedIn actually than any of my other channels. I'm also on Facebook. Sa TikTok, tignan ko kung mahanap niyo ako pero nag-test and learn pa ako. So we'll let you know. Medyo na-master ko na.
We'll be happy to see you on TikTok. Thank you so much, Jim, for your time.
Thank you, Lloyd. Really appreciate it.
Stay ka sa backstage, ha? I-close na namin yung program. Mukhang may sasabihin pa si Apple.
Ay, sige. Thank you. Thanks, Lloyd.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Guzman is head of social media of Dentsu Aegis Network Philippines. The Big Picture is presented to you by Puzzlebox BPO Inc., also sponsored by SMDC Luluran, Telepreneur, Creative Voices, Step Back, Reway, ano pa ba? PAPS and PALP. Okay. Please do check out cipc.com.ph, the content or the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines. To know more about that, go to the website. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Kung wala nang announcement, sino ang nanalo sa ating YouTube promo? Meron na bang nanalo sa ating YouTube promo or announce na lang natin siya? Okay, here we go. Tonight's lucky viewer is Ellen Grace De Vera. Congratulations, you're going to receive washable face mask courtesy of Unisol. Yun pala, Unisol sponsor natin. Unisol and TNC. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Good night, everyone. This is Lloyd Luna, The Big Picture on TNC. Bye-bye.